Good morning. Hope y'all are having a wonderful day wherever you're at. We're sharpening some curved pet grooming scissors this morning. I'm sorry, I'm sitting here having to change the abrasive out on my curved shear ride line maker. And I use old abrasives from my flat hone. Since we only use about 1 inch of the abrasive when we're sharpening the shears, the center part of the abrasive is still in good shape. And so I set them aside and then wrap them around a piece of PVC pipe. And I should have before I got the camera rolling. But anyway, we're going to work the ride lines on the curved shears. Since these are curved, I need some kind of curved surface, especially for this one. And this particular device is made by a guy named Ray Pope up in, I believe he's in Indiana or Illinois. I can't remember. I always get confused which state he's in. PrecisionSharpener.com is his website. And he makes this particular tool for guys who sharpen curved grooming shears, and that's what we're doing today. Curved grooming shears are used in the pet grooming industry. So if you pay for your dog to be groomed, your groomer is probably using these shears on your dog, and when they wear out and need sharpening, they contact somebody like me to sharpen them. Look good? So we start with a 600 and then I finish with 1,000 grit. And that's really all you need for these type of shears to make them sharp. So I know y'all can't see that, but that's what I'm working is that line along the edge of the shear. It needs to be smooth, no burrs. So that one looks pretty good. I need to go to the 600. I still left the 1,000 grit on there, so I need to switch it out. I appreciate everyone watching. I hope you hit that thumbs up button. It does help our little business down here in Texas grow. We get mail-in sharpening from all around the country. This is mail-in. She's from here in Texas, but she doesn't have a sharpener close to her, so she has to mail them somewhere, and so she mails them to me. that is loose. Looks good. Sorry about all the background noise. I got the fans running. It's pretty warm and humid down here in Texas today. It's 80 degrees and about 90% humidity in my shop. So we have to have the fans running. So we're going to reassemble them now after we've sharpened the shears. Got my little tool here to do the adjustment. Feels good. Let's try some fake fur. Cutting pretty good. Make sure they cut at the tip. A little crunchy still. I'm gonna put it on the buffer one time. Try not to over polish the pet grooming shears because oh yeah, much better. So sometimes it just takes a little extra buffing. So she'll be happy with those. All right, so that's one pair done. We have two more pair to do. I need to put a little lubrication on them. Thanks for hitting that thumbs up button, two people out there. That does help our little channel grow. And we make a little money on our YouTube channel, about $100 a month. And that helps buy abrasives, helps us do some marketing for the business. So here's the second pair. And what I'm doing is, the first thing I do is I test it on 1-ply tissue paper and see if it cuts. So it's not cutting down at the bottom, and it's not cutting all the way through the blade. The tip's not bad. It's a little crunchy. So then I'll try it with some fake fur. And it's catching at the tip. So I could see that the dog groomer would be frustrated sometimes the way that catches right there. So we got to fix that. It makes a mess. Everything makes a mess in sharpening. So you have to have a little special tool because it's not like a screwdriver. You got to have a little split piece to take it apart. And this particular tool is made by a fellow sharpener in Ardmore, Oklahoma. Tracy Marks is his name. And he's a sharpener like me, and he makes all kinds of little tools to help other sharpeners. So you got to take all the little parts out. Keep track of all the parts. So I'm always collecting little containers. And these little containers are those dog food containers. You wash them out. They're great little containers to keep things together. And I'm just shooting rubbing alcohol in that. Sorry, I can't talk today. And we're just going to do a little inspection. You can see how dirty they are. So I'm using rubbing alcohol to clean them with. Inspect the damage. It's hard to see on camera, but I have lots of lights around here, and I look for a little refraction of light on the cutting edge. That tells me where there's damage, and there's damage right there on that tip. Y'all may be able to see that, and you can see some damage like right around in here. You know, this lady's probably doing 5 dogs a day, 5 days a week. She's cutting a lot of dog hair, so she uses her shears. So I take a marker because I'm old and blind. I need to be able to see where I'm going to actually sharpen. And so you see the edge, that's the cutting edge there, the silver. And so I've got to repeat that edge at least. I may have to change the angle on it, who knows. But I want to see where I'm going to actually sharpen. All right, so we've got to move the camera. Now I'm trying out some new abrasives. These particular abrasives are supposed to be CBN, and they're from Shear Logic out in Portland, Oregon. And they're supposed to last longer. We'll see. I've only been using them a week or so. You know, there's lots of videos out there, Doc. You know, just watch as many YouTube videos as you can. There's a ton of sharpeners out in the world. Watch them all. Don't take anything as gospel. Learn as much as you can. Practice as much as you can. And see, there's some damage right there. That's going to take some grind. Y'all can't see that. The camera's not going to focus in, but there's some damage on that tip. I just say, you know, watch as much as you can. You'll figure out real quick what's right and what's not, and what works for you. What works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. Still see some damage. And I use a little piece of leather instead of running my hand across there, my finger across there. Probably should look at that under the microscope, but I think I got it. I'm gonna do one more pass here and see. There's just a little damage at that tip. Can't waste too much time on it. Got to keep going. I think that's fine. We'll know when we test cut. Well, I appreciate all of y'all watching out there and keeping me company. Tell me where you're watching from. We're in League City, Texas. League City is halfway between Houston and Galveston on the Texas Gulf Coast. We sharpen salon, barber, and pet grooming shears. That's what these are. These are pet grooming shears. Bahrain. What time is it in Bahrain? Frank, thank you for watching. Ted. Alvin, Texas, man, you're just right up the road, man. Right around the corner. I'm right off 518. I'm gonna go over to Alvin next week. I think I'm gonna go play at Hillcrest. 6:22 p.m. in Bahrain. So it's 10:22 a.m. in Texas. Is it Friday or Saturday in Bahrain? Yeah, voices. You know, you just never know who you're going to see online. All right, I think I got it. Looked like there was a little burr on there. So it's still Friday in Bahrain. Okay, cool. I never know what time it is anywhere else. Oh, sweet. Hey, you need to check out, there's a guy here in League City. He's a League City police officer. Austin Frake is his name. Long Shot Forge. Check out his stuff. He was on Forged with Fire. Austin Frake, Long Shot Forge, League City, Texas. He's a nice guy. Oh, sweet. Now these shears didn't have any ride line on them whatsoever. I don't think these are the highest quality shears out there. I'm going to give them a little bit of a ride line. They may not need it, but hopefully they'll cut better than they did. All right, that looks good. $258 people watching it. I hope y'all hit that thumbs up button. It does help our little business out, gives us a little exposure. We do mail-in sharpening from all around the United States. Now these are mail-in. This is our dog groomer in Central Texas. But I've got some scissors here from a lady in Illinois that I need to sharpen today and get it back out to her. I did some for somebody in Tennessee last week. The YouTube channel is just more about fun. It's not serious instruction on how to do any of this stuff. And it's kind of fun to chat with people from all over the world on here. Now these shears had some damage at the tip. I don't see that damage anymore. I was worried about getting it. I think I got it. We'll find out when we practice cut with them. And all this tool does is help me work that inside cutting edge. A shear has two edges, an inside and an outside edge, and you have to sharpen both of them or the shear's not going to cut correctly and efficiently. Light is your friend when sharpening, so there's lots of lights around me here, above, front of, and I'm looking for little, I call them starburst, refractive light, any little odd reflections, and I do not see any. So now we got to reassemble them and test them. And I try to keep all my little parts in a little container like this so they don't go flying anywhere. Make sure I put everything back together. You just used one, Mark? That's the wrong one. That one goes in this side. Oh, awesome, man. I'll check it out and I'll respond to you when I get a chance to get back to the computer. So I've got these to do, then I've got about, I think, 9 clipper blades to do, and I think about 5 knives that I need to get done before lunch today. Fridays start getting busy. Dog groomers and barbers on the weekends. Barbers won't come until tomorrow afternoon when they're usually closed on Sundays and Mondays. Dog groomers are closed on usually on Saturdays and Sundays. Some of them are open. Average scruffy, I love it. I spent 29 years sitting at a desk and looking at a computer, and have been doing this full time for 5, and it's been the best 5 years satisfactory of my life, work-wise. Y'all can't see it, but my shop, and then the dogs are sitting behind me on the floor. So those are my co-workers, my dogs. All right, so we're gonna try. I got the tension a little heavy on this. And that one ply tissue paper tells me a lot. I need to polish that a little bit more. So sorry, I'm not gonna move the camera around to do this. But all I'm doing is I'm using a couple other little plates to polish the edge a little bit smoother. I try to leave the grooming shears a little toothy because they're using this on so many different types of fur. All right, that's cutting real good. I don't feel that crunch anymore, but we're gonna try the fake fur. So here's the fake fur. Let's see if it cuts. So we're gonna see if it cuts at the back. Oh, no problem. See if it cuts in the middle. No problem. The tip is the most important. If I get a clean cut across the tip is what the dog groomer wants. And it does. Y'all see that? So pretend this is the face of the dog. Smooth around the edges. I'm not much of a stylist, but these are cutting good. I don't feel any pull. Maybe a little right there. Let me see if I can work that tip a little bit more. So the dog groomer will tell me if I did a good job or not. I do. See, I still see something on that damn tip. I do salon, barber, and pet grooming shears. That's what these are. Clipper blades, sewing and industrial scissors, including medical scissors, and just about any kind of knife. It's usually 24 to 48 hours for clipper blades from the time I receive them. All right, they're not pulling. They're good. Those are good. So a little lubrication on the pivot area. Hindsight, you can check out my website, sharpenright.com. There's my website, if you can see that. Got a glare on it. You can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can message me through my website. It goes directly to my phone when you send a message. It may take me a while to get back to you, but that's how you can contact me. So what I like to do is after I've sharpened them, I take a little tiny rubber band and put around the tips so they don't open and get damaged when I mail them back to the client. These are mail-in. So here's another pair of the exact same ones. Oh, they feel really rough. So we'll take a little piece of tissue paper. This is just going to give me an idea how they cut. They cut, but they're very crunchy. it's not smooth. And obviously that's what she's thinking, the same thing when she's cutting the dogs, or she wouldn't have mailed them to me now, would she? So I'm going to swing the camera here and you can see one of my co-workers. Let me get this apart first. So it's got a little Teflon washer in there that needs to be taken out. There's the adjustment plate. We're just going to set those right there. Then I'm going to shoot all this with rubbing alcohol just to clean them. So that just cleans all the parts, and put that aside. All right, hang on. So there's one of my co-workers, and the other one I think is went in the house. Best co-workers I've ever had. So we're just cleaning off all the schmutz, doing a little examination, some wear right in there. You can see the damage. Now you can see, if you look in the light, you can see where it's damaged on the shear. There's some damage right there. Lots of damage there. You can see how much damage there is. Inside that ride line needs some serious work, and that's where that ride line tool is going to come in real handy and make that smooth. So the first thing I do is I use a red marker to highlight where the cutting edge surface on the outside of the shear is, what the angle is. And I can feel the damage on the shear with the marker. It's very rough. Well, I appreciate you folks watching. I hope y'all hit that thumbs up button. It helps our little business grow. So we're going to grind that red. That's where we're going to do the actual sharpening on this outside. There's an outside edge and then there's an inside edge. So we're going to work the outside edge first. You can see the marker's gone. And I've got a light burr all the way across the blade. One more pass. Got 600. And I can see the burr. And that's just experience doing this for years. I'm not perfect though, by any means. Sometimes I make mistakes. That looks good. So since these are pet grooming shears, I don't go past 1500. And that's probably a little too fine. It probably should stop at 600 or 1000. So you see the red disappeared, and I got a light burr all the way across the blade. One more pass. I see just a little something at the tip that I don't like. think I got it. All right, so let's go to 1500. One more. All right, looks good. Now I'm going to come back to this in a little bit. We're just going to leave that right there for now and go move the camera over. So I like to take a little piece of leather and just gently go across that blade to remove the burr, and I can also feel if it's any kind of rough area still on it. Maybe I missed it in the sharpening. Feels pretty good. I like to clean them with a little alcohol and a terry cloth towel. A little piece of chamois. And that's not blood on there, that's that marker. You know, people have asked, hey, are you bleeding? Well, sometimes I am, but not this time. That's not blood on there. Can y'all see that damage? There's some. Maybe a little something like right here. I felt a little odd spot. Hey, Jim. Hey, folks that are watching, if you like my channel, y'all need to check out Home Spark Knife Sharpening in Aurora, Illinois. Jim is the owner, and he's got some great videos right there. Home Spark Knife Sharpening. Check out his YouTube channel. We all try to support each other here in the sharpening tool here. I lost part of my washer. That's not good. So I'm going to freehand these. The washer bounced somewhere. Not good.